If you're new to witchcraft, you might feel a bit overwhelmed by all of the tools and the rituals and all of the different paths that are out there. And maybe you're wondering if you're actually doing it right. Well, today I'm going to share with you what I wish I'd have known when I first started out so that you can avoid common mistakes and really find what really resonates with you and build a practice that feels grounded, personal, and sustainable. Hey Wild Ones, I'm Emma Louise Dice and welcome back to the Wild and Untamed Way, and today we're going to be diving into what I wish I'd have known before I began practicing witchcraft. So if you're just beginning on your journey, you might feel like there is so much to learn, there are so many tools to gather, or maybe you're wondering if you're actually doing things the right way. And I know that I felt that way when I first started, and through my own experience and a lot of trial and error, I've picked some lessons that I'm going to share with you today that can just make things a lot easier. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some insights on managing expectations in witchcraft, understanding different paths, and starting with simple, meaningful practices, and even keeping a book of shadows to track your journey. So if you are ready to start a witchcraft practice that feels grounded and personal and sustainable, then stay tuned, because these are the things that I wish I'd have known right from the beginning. So let's start with expectations, because if there is one thing I'd have wished that I understood from the beginning, is this: witchcraft is a journey, it is not a quick fix. And a lot of beginners, including myself when I started out, expect instant results, like casting a spell and seeing changes right away. But in reality, witchcraft is a really deeply spiritual practice, and it often requires patience, it requires inner work, and it requires reflection. Spells and rituals are absolutely part of it, yes, but the magic, that comes from within us. And sometimes results are just going to take time. And often what's happening on the surface is actually just a fraction of the change that is happening on a much deeper level. Another important part to managing our expectations is really understanding that witchcraft is a balance of the mystical but also the practical. And a lot of us are really drawn to witchcraft because of its mystique, because of the rituals, the connection to the unseen. But what I learned is that witchcraft is also a very grounding and practical practice. It's about connecting with yourself. It is about understanding your own energy. It is about taking these small, meaningful actions in our everyday life. Let me give you an example. So a simple grounding practice, right? Something as simple as just lighting a candle with an intention and taking a few mindful breaths can be a really powerful practice that can actually be as powerful as a ritual. So witchcraft isn't about, the mystical rituals. It's about really being connected to your surroundings, your own intuition, and also your own inner power, right? It's about connecting to that in real and practical ways. Next up, I want to talk about starting small and building consistency, because this approach is really key to avoiding overwhelm and creating a practice that actually lasts. When I began, I felt the urge to dive in and try absolutely everything all at once. I was trying to learn spells and gather tools and follow detailed rituals. But what I found over time is that that was really overwhelming. And the simpler kind of steady approach allows for real growth without burnout. You know, witchcraft isn't a race. It's something that you deepen as you go. And certainly myself, who is a little neurospicy, you know, getting really overwhelmed by all of the things that I thought I should be doing, became a problem, and I ended up doing nothing a lot of the times because it felt like too much. So if you're starting small, think about practices that are going to be accessible and also manageable. Something like sitting in nature to connect with the elements, or practicing breath work to really center yourself. Daily rituals as well. They don't need to be massive, elaborate things. They can be as subtle as just setting an intention in the morning, or journaling a few thoughts or some gratitude before you go to bed. And by building these small, consistent habits, you create a rhythm, and it's a rhythm that feels natural. And over time, you'll find that these moments actually just start to integrate into your life. So witchcraft, it isn't about doing all of the things all of the time. It's about finding what resonates and letting that grow into something really meaningful, and being able to incorporate all of these things, these little things, into your daily practice. So it's not something you're trying to do, it's something you naturally do every single day. One thing I wish I'd have known early is that you don't need a huge collection of tools to practice witchcraft efficiently, right? It's so easy to get caught up in thinking that you need every crystal and every herb and every candle color under the sun for every spell. But at its core, witchcraft is about intention, especially when you're just starting out. The simplest tools, or even just your own focus and your own energy, can be incredibly powerful. For example, a single favorite crystal or an object that you already feel connected to can really be a very meaningful gemstone or an object to work with, and that can be as meaningful as a shelf full of supplies that you have. So instead of gathering everything all at once, let your tools come to you as you feel called to them, right? So be mindful of that. Not only are you going to be saving a little bit on your bank balance, but also as you start to learn and you start to grow your practice, there's some things that you may have bought that you don't even use, that aren't really aligned with what you do. So, you know, purchase as you go along. And the same goes for rituals as well. Keep them simple and intentional. This is often much more impactful than making them really big and elaborate. And again, over time, as you grow in your practice, you'll naturally feel drawn to expand your toolkit. But remember, witchcraft is about energy. It's about the meaning that you bring to what you do, not the things that you own, right? Remember that. Another thing that I wish I'd have known is that witchcraft isn't a single path. It's not one single path. There are many different traditions. There are many different styles of practice, from Wicca to green witchcraft to kitchen witchcraft, hedge witchcraft, eclectic witchcraft, which lets us draw from multiple different traditions to create a path that is unique to you. And when I started, I felt that I needed to choose one specific path and one certain set of rules. I've always been really drawn to working with plants and herbs. I have a big apothecary. I make a lot of my own herbal remedies and herbal medicines. And so I was like, I'm a green witch. But the truth is that I take components from lots and lots of different types of practices. So witchcraft is really highly personal. And part of the journey is really exploring what resonates with you. So maybe you do feel drawn to the natural world and you want to work with plants and herbs, or perhaps you're really interested in divination or working with deities or focusing on kind of home-based rituals. Eclectic witchcraft is a path that's open to all of these different possibilities, and it allows you to kind of weave together practices from different traditions to really create something that feels like yours. There's no single right way, and understanding that, you can pick and choose from different practices can really help to prevent any confusion or feeling like you're not doing enough. So give yourself permission, right? Explore, trust the path that you're on. And it can be as unique as you are, because witchcraft is about personal empowerment. It's about connecting with what feels true to you, not just following somebody else's rules. And finally, let's talk about something that can make a huge difference over time. And that is keeping a journal or a book of shadows. When I first started, I didn't think I needed one. I thought, no, I'd remember everything that I was learning, that I was experiencing. But witchcraft is such a journey, and looking back on what I've recorded has been one of the most valuable parts of my practice. Your book of shadows, your journal, or your grimoire, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be fancy. A lot of times we see these aesthetics, on Instagram or TikTok, and people have these beautiful books with illustrations. For me, that just felt really overwhelming. So just, it can be as simple as just jotting down a few notes on your spells that you do, and anything that maybe comes up in dreams, or symbols that come up for you, insights that you get in your meditation. Just jot them down, and then over time these notes are going to turn into a record of your growth, and you'll begin to see patterns, and you'll begin to see lessons, even shifts in how you actually approach your practice. Journaling is a great way to track what resonates with you and what doesn't. So it can really help you to really avoid repeating any mistakes. It can help you to really refine your rituals and really deepen your understanding of what truly works for you. And don't worry about getting it right. Your book of shadows is a personal tool. It is just meant for you to capture your journey as it unfolds. It is not, doesn't have to be this beautiful aesthetic thing, unless that's what you want it to be and that doesn't feel overwhelming to you. So these are the things that I wish that I'd had known before I started practicing witchcraft. We've talked about managing expectations, starting small, keeping your practice simple, exploring different paths, and the value of journaling to really track your growth. And remember, witchcraft is a deeply personal journey. There's no right way, only the way that really resonates with you. So if you're just starting out or you're looking to deepen your practice, remember that it's perfectly okay to take your time, to make mistakes, and to find out what feels authentic to you. And if you're looking to connect with a community of like-minded souls, I would love for you to come over and join my free Facebook group. It's called The Wild and Untamed Ones. It's a space where we dive deeper into all things witchcraft and shamanic witchcraft and foraging and earth medicine. It's a place to share experiences, to support each other on this journey. I will leave the link below so you can come over and join us. It's absolutely free. So thank you so much for watching the video today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, leave a comment and share what you've discovered, what you're discovering at the moment on your path as well. And stay wild, stay cool, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Lots of love.